Hi, so I wanted to show you some of my favorite free plugins that you can just download and start using. So first off, my personal favorite is the Spitfire Labs, which is a collection of a bunch of free stuff, and they're all really good. So I do recommend checking that out. I'll put all the links where you can just find them and press them. So when you open up, so this one is my personal super favorite, the soft piano. I use this all the time in sparse arrangements to just fill out the space a bit. It is very pretty and very reverbing and very soft and neat. And another one that let's actually show you this one. Whirly. So it's like a electric piano sort of thing. So that's kind of neat. And there's also this dulcimer. And a bunch of other cool stuff. So that's my first recommendation. Spitfire Labs, go check that out. A lot of good sounding things. And now over to another Spitfire thing actually. So this is called the BBC Symphony Orchestra Discover. And you can find that on this link. Once again, I'll put the links where you can just click them. So this one is free-ish. So you can pay for it if you want it right away, or you can like fill out a questionnaire and wait for 2 weeks and then you get it for free. And the cool thing about this one is that, so in the sort of symphony strings space of things, there's a lot of, you need to have the best samples and all the most realistic stuff, and Spitfire is the place to go for that. But the regular string libraries are very big, very expensive, and have a bunch of features that you kind of need to master to use to make it sound as realistic as possible. But this one is free, and you can get started, and it still sounds amazing because it's Spitfire. So let's pop that one open. And you can see here you actually have a full-blown orchestra. So you can pick like the violins here. And you have a bunch of different, so this is long, you can get the spiccato. And pizzicato. And this is where the full, like the expensive version have like 20 or 30 different of those. So you're gonna need to learn to master how to use all of them. Then you can get a bunch of other cool stuff here. Also, sorry if the playback is a bit choppy. That is because my computer can't handle recording this and it's playing it at the same time. So, if you're interested in doing orchestral things and orchestral composition and just getting into that space, there's just no better place to start than the BBC Symphony Orchestra Discover, because it's free and it sounds amazing. Now over to some audio plugins. First off is one called OTT, which you can get on Splice actually. So it's free, you just download it and go. And they say it's like a multiband compressor, dynamics, whatever. I personally just kind of use it as a mid cleanup tool, because like usually in a mix when you start adding a bunch of instruments, the mid frequencies start building up. And unless you adjust that in the mixing session, which I oftentimes don't do that well, it's kind of good to just put this on there in the mastering or on your mix bus. So usually what I like to do is just use all the presets and just crank this depth knob and you'll see what happens. It removes a bunch of mids, and it's probably going to sound like garbage when you crank it up, but let's just experiment and you can see what it does to the sound. So obviously, when it's cranked to 100%, it sounds like crap, but you'll hear what it does to the sound. So it really carves out a bunch of the everything really. And now what I like to do, so from this garbage sound, if we just do the same, just play the song, but we keep lowering it. Oops, sorry about that. And you notice that we start getting a lot of these sounds back in, and eventually we reach a point where we don't actually like the sounds coming back in, because that's where we kind of get the mud. So let's just do that. Play the song again, and I'll just keep lowering this. So usually what I end up doing is putting it around here. So around like 20. So if I just show you from, see where the mud gets back in. Somewhere around there. So I find that to be a pretty decent tool to just clean up the mid frequencies that tend to be a bit much sometimes. Okay, over to guitar amplifier. So this is Guitar Rig, which is actually not a free plugin per se. However, I got this demo version that I kind of got it bundled with something else, but you can go and just download the demo version. Now, this the Guitar Rig 6 demo version, I have a Guitar Rig 5. I'm not entirely sure that the demo version works the exact same way, but the demo version that I have lets me, so there are most sounds that are kind of unavailable or temporarily available, so I can use them for a little while, but then it resets, you need to restart and stuff. However, I can use some of the sounds as much as I like, and some of these are very much usable, and I have been using them. So let's just see. So here's just a regular clean electric guitar sound. So that's I just plugged my guitar straight into my interface. So this is what the clean signal sounds like, just guitar straight in. And mind you, this is a dirt cheap guitar as well. So I'm gonna just play it and put that back on, and you can see kind of how it works. So for clean, this works really well. I do enjoy using it for a clean sound. You can use it for a bit of a grit as well. So it's not super great when it starts to get a bit like distorted and gritty and high gain, but it works for a while. So this is what it sounds like on a, I'll just play it. So I still consider that usable. So it's a bit noisy, but it definitely works. And for free, it's about as good as it gets. And also if we have a bit more, so I wanted to do like a Metallica style grit on this, but that did not sound good. So here's more of a, it's a Gibson, just chords, rhythm thing. So once again, I've just plugged my guitar straight in and just used this one plugin. So if I bypass, and you can hear just a clean signal going into my interface. And with guitar rig. And once again, sorry for the choppy playback. That is not due to the plugins, but due to my computer not being able to handle the recording at the same time with all this. So, those are my free plugin recommendations. Spitfire Labs, just go to Spitfire Labs and find all the instruments that seem pleasing to you and just download it. And then we have the BBC Symphony Orchestra Discover, which is the free-ish, like, as you can see, you can pay for €9 or free. So that's the button you want to click. And then we have OTT that I use for mid cleanup and the guitar rig demo version. You can buy it if you want, but the demo is what I use. So, hope that was useful. See you around.